Hey guys, this is Corey with Custom RV in Amarillo, Texas, and today I have a brand new arrival to show you. This is the 8,450 pound 2022 Forestriver Arctic Wolf model 287 BH. This is their shortest, lightest weight bunkhouse that they offer in the Arctic Wolf series. And we're going to do an interior and exterior walk-around video tour today and tell you about some of the really smart new additions and changes for 2022, such as the new Juice Pack expansion package, which brings your solar panel capabilities to 150 watts instead of 50 watts. The new 12-volt fridge, little slight interior decor changes, and other great features on the inside of this bunkhouse fifth wheel. So as I said before, we're going to do an interior walkthrough, and then we'll circle back around to the outside, show you all the cool features and changes, and let's go ahead and dive right in. Man, I tell you, these guys just keep getting better and better. They're such a smart budget fifth wheel, and I say that in a good way. What Arctic Wolf really tries to do is hit all of the core features that most people expect in a fifth wheel, like dual air conditioning, auto leveling, things like that you're going to feel, see, use, touch every single day when you're camping, and they're not going to go over the top flashy. So as we kind of pan around here, some things that you'll notice is you do have a direct facing entertainment. TVs are an option. We have applied that to this particular trailer. You can also see your AM/FM Bluetooth stereo system with the HDMI and USB ports. 5200 BTU electric space heating fireplace down there, by the way. You're also going to have a UDINET, which is something not a lot of fifth wheels really do anymore. You can find it some, but I love that they're using this. It makes so much sense in a smaller bunkhouse. That way you can fit the whole family around there, play a game of cards, eat dinner, which is nice. And then handy USB port right there too, by the way. And that's one thing that Arctic Wolf and really any Cherokee product is really good about, is putting USB ports anywhere where you can sit or sleep or really do anything. That's a trifold sleeper sofa, by the way, so that you can sleep 4 people in here. Or in the living area, I should say. You've also got the zebra shades. People either love them or hate them. I think they're awesome. They do such a better job at blacking out the sunlight compared to like a pleated shade or anything like that. You do have the blue accent lights, as you can see there. I'll leave those off for the duration of this section. It just kind of gives you a better idea of the colors. They did darken up their slide fascia a little bit for 2022 and some various assorted other things. I think it needed that. It just gives it a little more contrast. So as you can see right here, you do have a nice kitchen. We'll come back to that here in a little bit. If we kind of pan up, you'll notice that you do have a 110 volt ceiling fan, so that's not a 12 volt like some brands are using. Just keep that in mind. Standard 15,000 BTU Coleman Q series air conditioning system, and that is, it does have the double ducted AC runs. And if we kind of back up here, and I know we're just looking at the roof, but you can see it right there kind of by those fan blades. And I love that they did this little coat hanger area here. That's just, you know, it gives that wall some purpose. You know, it's not just a blank wall. Love those household and USB outlets right there, right above your breakers and fuses. And you'll also notice, if we look down at the floor, there are no heat vents in the floor in this trailer. So you're going to have cabinet ducted heating, and that is really a smart thing in a bunkhouse. Particularly because kids like to, you know, make a mess, and, you know, keeps all the dirt and stuff out of those heating vents, which is, again, something in a bunkhouse that a lot of people really want. You're going to have a little shoe garage underneath that first step there, by the way. And then over here, I want to go ahead and talk about the control panel. So you can see that lit up when we walked over here. This has the new total control system by Cherokee. This is a motion sensor panel. And it's going to do everything that last year's did. But the nice thing about this is you can see your tank monitoring panel, your water pump and water heater from the app now, because this is a Bluetooth panel as well. So anything you can do from here, and I mean anything, it wasn't like last year where you could do anything except for your water heater and water pump, but anything from here you can do from your phone now. And you still are going to have the LCI 1 control system. So this is the reason they have this is because of the automatic leveling. And then this QR code here is for the Insight backup camera system. And we'll talk a little bit more about that on the outside. You've got your one control hotspot prep. So basically this is a prep to be able to give you LTE access anywhere. You've also got your juice pack voltage meter. So the best way I can explain that is it's like the gas gauge for your batteries. Then you've got your electric water heater control here. This is not accessible from the app. And then you have your first of 2 thermostats, since this one does have the second air conditioners. Notice no carpet on the steps too, by the way, and you have this handy little motion sensor light. That way, if the kids need to get up here to the bathroom, they're not going to trip going down the stairs or anything. Or really, if mom and dad are coming down here to get a late night snack or something, they don't trip going down the stairs either. And really, you do lose a little bit of, and I know I'm changing the subject drastically, you do lose a little bit of campside windows on this one. But if we take a second and kind of go back to these windows, just look how big they are. These windows are massive. And the big windows on the face of the slide here, they do open. The slide-in windows do not. So just keep that in mind. But I think it lets in a ton of natural light, and it makes up for the fact of not having a whole bunch of windows on your campsite. But with that being said, I think the real star of the show for this one is the kitchen. It is such a good kitchen for a bunkhouse, and it has tons of storage. More than some rear living fifth wheels, believe it or not. So the storage really starts right when you walk in the door. You have this gigantic pantry, and if we kind of pan up here, you'll notice this goes all the way to the roof. They could have put some extra shelves in here, but I kind of like that they didn't. That way you can put some bigger things on this top shelf. Notice you have a second set of coat hangers here, and I like the fact that these don't come all the way forward. It just makes it a little bit easier to use the space. And you could put a vacuum or a broom in here on this left hand wall, which is nice. And one thing a lot of people do is they try to turn this. It's just a magnetic, or it is magnetically held in place, which is, I kind of like that a little bit better. And in case you forgot where the pantry was, they go ahead and write it on the door for you. And if you've watched my videos before, you know how I feel about that. As we come around to the face of the entertainment center, you do have some nice big tall cabinets here. And yes, you may need a stepladder to get to them, but it's better than them wasting that space and not giving you any storage at all. Even the dinette gets in on the action. You have these two 40-inch dinette drawers, and then you have the standard cubbyhole storage in the back. But you do have 2 of these, one on each side. I just have that one pulled out part way. You also are going to have the 10.7 cubic foot 12 volt compressor driven refrigerator. So this is a Canon refrigerator. It is the biggest fridge that you can get in the Arctic Wolf, and really it's the only fridge you can get in an Arctic Wolf. And the nice thing about that is, since this runs off of your solar panels or your truck's charge line, you can basically use this just about anywhere, even in transit. A funny thing that not a lot of people are telling you in the industry right now is that you can't run your propane going down the road anymore in most states. You'll notice good storage above the fridge. That's a nice deep cabinet. Again, you might need a two-stepper to get here. Same thing with the above the microwave. I would really have liked to see some struts for that, because even at 6'3", that's kind of a hard cabinet to get into for me, and I'm kind of tall. Microwave hood range vent down here. You've got your 3-burner cooktop with the glass cover, and of course they did bring back the removable backsplash / cutting board for this year. All pressed membrane thermofoil style countertops. I love this big sink here. You've got some USB ports here, and if we drop down, and I'm always terrible about showing this, but you do have an electrical outlet right there as well. So it is easy to get to. And you do have a nice chunk of storage here. This goes all the way back into the corner, and it's nice and deep and usable, which is sometimes, I think, some of these RV designers don't think about that. Kind of like this. That was actually a really good tie-in. That was totally unplanned. I would remove this panel and use that as trash can storage. And then you do have 3 full extension plywood box ball bearing drawer guided drawers here. The top one does have your silverware divider in it, which is really nice. So overall, this has got a really good living and kitchen area. But I think the other star of this trailer, and really you could say this whole floor plan is just the star of this trailer, which, yes, it's kind of a oxymoron, but the bunk room is, I think, one of the best out there, and let's go take a look at that now. So one thing I've noticed in some of the competition that build a similar floor plan is, compared to the Arctic Wolf, is usually you don't get a solid door here. You know, that it's typically a pocket door or a curtain. And I love that they did this. Now, these I think are the biggest bunks possibly in the industry. These are 54 by 74. Almost a queen size bed, which is awesome. You can easily sleep 2 kids or an actual adult. This is one of the very few bunkhouses that can sleep 4 to 6 adults comfortably. And you do have this nice metal ladder. I love that they didn't use one, just I lost my train of thought there. I love that they purpose-built this ladder, and this is really similar to like the toy hauler ladders, which is nice. But again, you have a 300-pound rated upper bunk, household USB outlets on both the top and the bottom. You are going to have another light down here, emergency egress windows and cross breeze windows there. You also have good duffel bag storage underneath that bottom bunk, and if this was it, this would be great. But Arctic Wolf doesn't just do the bare minimum as far as storage typically. They have got this huge back corner cabinet. So you've got shelf storage for the bottom half. And as we pan up, this is one of the very few bunkhouses I've seen that has good kids clothing storage. Typically you don't get any hang-up storage in a bunkhouse, and I absolutely love that. You also are going to have ceiling mounted TV hookups. You can put a TV up here. I would say probably about a 32-inch would be about as big as you want to. And you do have a nice dedicated light switch for these 2 ceiling lights, which is, I think, really nice as well. Alright guys, so we've covered the bottom, or the main deck. Let's go ahead now and we'll go and take a look at the upper deck. And I tell you, Arctic Wolf does a really killer job on their bedroom and bathroom decks. So as we come into the master bathroom, one thing you'll notice, you don't with a lot of fifth wheels, you'll see this gigantic 60-inch shower. And I love that Arctic Wolf didn't do that. So this is a 30 by 36-inch shower, which is plenty. I think for most people. You can be upwards of 6'5" and still shower in here comfortably. Notice the larger Ultra Breeze fan. That thing is awesome. It will move so much more air than the common fart fan, as we call those little ones. porcelain foot flush lever toilet is a standard piece of equipment. As we spin back around, you'll notice a nice medicine cabinet. Notice they do have the pretty good sized lips, and this does go back a little ways on each side, so you do have a lot more room. That's a motion sensor light too, by the way, and you've got plenty of leg room in here as well. GFI protected outlet, thermofoil press membrane countertops, a little bit of storage underneath the sink there for some, I would use that for a trash can. Then you've got plumbing access on the left side. Neat little shelf here, but this is, I think, my favorite feature, is this giant linen cabinet. Personally, I would put in a shelf here. That way you maximize your storage space. But that's just good linen cabinet space. And normally you don't get that in something this size, you know, being at about 34 foot. As we come in here, pardon the TV box, I just have not gotten that removed yet. And Arctic Wolf has changed their bedroom again for this year slightly. So you've got shelving space on both sides of the bed. They moved their LED light down and moved the shelf up a little bit so you have a little more headroom. This one again was optioned with the second 15,000 BTU Coleman Q Series air conditioner. You can get this without second air conditioner if you want to, but I would not recommend that. It really does need it. Really, any fifth wheel needs it. 60 by 80 true queen bed. There is storage underneath it. You also have no carpet in here. Still cabinet ducted heating. And I love these little nightstands. So you've got this extra little drawer here. And nice thermofoil press membrane countertops, just like every other countertop in here. Household and USB outlets on both sides of the bed. And you've got a couple extra little reading lights there. Both windows up here do open for ventilation. And you've got some light switches and your second thermostat up here as well for this air conditioner. They are both tied into the same ducting though, which is nice. And pardon me while I get you in position to look at the TV and the closet. So you've got space for probably a 24-inch TV here. And then if we drop down, you're probably wondering, where's my closet space? You have a ton of extra space here, and this is kind of shared with that linen closet in the bathroom. Shoe garage down there, again, no carpet, and they did this to save about 700 pounds when they used to compared to when they used to have slide outs in the bedrooms. And it really gives you more closet space than the slide out could. And I think the bathroom is so much better. Plus, they were able to do things like a true queen bed, where they were not able to with their previous bedroom design. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the interior of this 2022 Arctic Wolf Model 287BH. Let's go ahead now and we'll jump onto the outside and take a look at some of the neat features there. So starting up front here, you have a nice automotive painted fiberglass front cap. There are some LED lights on there. I just do not have them turned on today because I always forget those. You do have the Rhino box, pin box here. If you want to upgrade that to say something like a Rotoflex or a Flex Air or something, there are pin boxes available now to do that. I don't believe they're available on the market yet, but they are coming soon. If we drop down underneath here, this is where your spare tire and battery box will be located. I believe I have that locked up now. Here's that docking light switch, and then this control panel here is for your automatic leveling controls. So it's a 4-point LCI ground control automatic leveling system. That way you don't have to mess with hydraulics, because I know a lot of people are not familiar with hydraulics at all. Personally, I like the electric system myself. Propane tanks, one on each side. They are the 20-pound tanks. 30-pound tanks will fit in those compartments. We'll take a look at the pass-through from the other side, but right here you're going to have all of your hookups. I love this handy little light here. You've got your freshwater, city water, black tank flush, and cable and satellite hookups, as well as the back side of your furnace. And then if we drop down here, you will see your gray and black termination valves here. If we get in here a little bit closer, You can see that you do have an enclosed and heated underbelly. Arctic Wolf is a 4-season camper. They have 2-inch thick sidewalls compared to some of your other brands of lighter weight fifth wheels that have an 1.5 inch thick sidewall, like for example your Cougar half tons. So we come back around this side. You are going to have an outside shower and your 50 amp service. If we drop down here, you're also going to see your galley tank for your kitchen. So you have a split gray tank on here. And real quick before I forget, here's your back 2 jacks for your automatic leveling system. And we get a lot of questions as to why they're up near the tires as opposed to way back here. And the big reason is if you take a imaginary line from the little bumper here all the way back over here to the bottom of your tires where they hit the ground, as long as everything is above that, you'll never, well, I shouldn't say never, you're very unlikely to drag those. And that's why they put them right next to the tires, because they are so long that they need to get them as close to that as possible. We have optioned in the rear cargo rack here. So this is rated for 200 pounds or so, all LED tail and marker lights. And then you do have your LCI Insight rear observation camera system here. So the cool thing with this, that will that emits a wireless signal that can be picked up by your phone, and instead of having to have an extra monitor in the cab, unless you just want to, because that is available, you can use your phone, which is a really nice feature, and a lot of people like that. These are, real quick, these are backed for a ladder, but the ladder is not available from the factory at this point. That may change here in the future, but we can definitely add a ladder to this unit if you want to. It's fully ready for that. Pardon my kind of terrible work. We're a little close to this fence here. Right here is going to be your 6-gallon gas and electric water heater with direct spark ignition. And then I love this, because they moved the camp kitchen to a different spot, you have this massive amount of storage underneath that bottom bunk. So this is perfect for all of your camp chairs, kids' toys, whatever. And these are magnetic holdbacks and slam latches. So the camp kitchen is just forward of the bunks, which is nice. There's actually no spot in the kitchen you can't really get to. But you've got an ice maker, a little refrigerator, little cold water spray port in addition to the outside shower, 2-burner cooktop, and then you have the little dump sink. Or you can take that out and put a trash can in there. I've seen some people do that. And then down here you have your propane quick connect. And you can always hook up like a griddle or an actual one of those bumper mount grills or something like that if you want to. You don't have to use the 2-burner cooktop. If we back up here a little bit, you'll notice that you have a huge power awning. I want to say that's either a 19 or a 20-foot power awning. It does have the blue LED strip lighting in there. And you can see one of them's hidden behind the door here. But you do have 2 outside speakers. Those are backlit as well. I would have liked to see those drop down into the skirting, but that's just me. Larger entry assist handle. You also have your triple step MORryde step above steps. These have the wider top step, the easy adjust feet, and they flip up inside the door when you're ready to go or to move this trailer. You also are going to have that slick black glass entry door. I absolutely love these. I'm glad they're still using that. There was a time where they couldn't get these. You also are going to have the leash latch, and people always ask me what this is for. That is for the cable and satellite hookups right there as well. And then if we take a look at the pass-through storage, you can see that there's no plumbing connections or anything impeding the storage. You can see all that aluminum framing. and you have just tons of space here. Dual motion sensor latch is a very nice touch. And then again, you do have the slam latches and magnet haul latch. This trailer, the one that we're looking at today, does have the juice pack as well as the juice pack expansion kit on it as well. And I'm trying to get out of the wind, which is kind of hard to do when we're in the middle of scenic Amarillo, Texas. But so you have 150 watts of solar up on the roof. It's expandable up to 500 watts, which is nice. And once you get to 500 watts, you have to upgrade the charge controller. So just keep that in mind. Alrighty guys, that's gonna wrap it up for the exterior of the 2022 Arctic Model 287 BH. If you're interested in this Bunkhouse fifth wheel and you have any questions, or if you would like pricing and availability, I'll leave a link down in the description below for you can check pricing and availability at any time. Or if you want to talk to a real human, you can do that too. I can be reached at 806-335-2336, or you can shoot me an email at contact@custom-rv.com. As always, guys, we thank you very much for watching. We hope that you enjoyed. If you could do me a favor and hit that like button down below, as well as hit that subscribe and notification bell, we would greatly appreciate that. That'll help you stay up to date on all of our new units that we have coming in, as well as some helpful tips and tricks when we have time. All right, guys, remember at Custom RV, we don't do any hidden dealer fees. We leave that up to the big dealers. And we know that RVs are made for women, so men can go camping. All right, guys, we'll talk to you again very soon, and have a wonderful rest of your day.